Yes. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first session of the MuMe Meet Up. It's still now mainly for those who have contributed their memories for the Museum Memory Project. Thank you so much for being a part of it. And we hope to meet up every fourth Sunday of the month. And this is just a starter. So we are sort of, getting to know each other a bit. And we've decided that every month we'll have a theme, like a very informal, this is a very informal meeting. So maybe one of us, who has sent in their memories can talk more about it or not. I'll now hand over to Akanksha and she will do the entire plan that she has for this talk. Thank you. Thanks, Akanksha.
Yes, so I will start right away. And I'll ask you all the first question, which is, do you like visiting museums?
Dearly. Definitely yes.
And do you visit them often?
Wherever we are traveling. It's in the itinerary. If there is a museum, we would, and we have the time, then we would definitely like to go. Definitely.
That's nice. And what would you say is your favorite museum that you visited till date?
I think most of them. I mean, I am mesmerized by all museums. I'm one person. I like learning about history. I am an architecture student. So, I've studied all these historical monuments accordingly. So all these things fascinate me, anything new. Coimbatore was a really wonderful experience because this was something unusual. Because with that car museum, there was attached was a museum of every possible invention that you can think of in this world. Starting from like 800 years to up to now. Everything that like we've seen in our childhood to we are seeing today was there. Each and every item was there. It was so awesome. And a small place like Coimbatore, I was amazed. That was one experience I can't forget. And the cars, my God. That museum is at par with any museum in a foreign country. So that I really like because normally you go to India, a lot of places, museums are not well kept. Especially I went to Cochin, was very disappointing. Those things were like very bad. I was like feeling sorry, how long are they going to last? But Coimbatore was a good experience. I really can't. And this was just 2 years ago. I think 2019 November. So
sorry to interrupt. Hi Anita, welcome to the session. How are you?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. So lovely seeing you. Anita sent a wonderful memory on Kolhapur. So Anita, Akanksha is our intern for
introduction going on of everyone.
Yes, so Akanksha will, I think, ask everyone for a bit of introduction. So Suyash is also joined. Akanksha, you can ask people to give a bit of an introduction also. Hi, Suyash. Suyash, your mic is off.
Yeah.
Hi, Balami.
Hi. Akanksha meets Suyash and now let's all introduce each other.
So I can see Ruchika ma'am on my screen first. So if you'd want to start, you can start by sort of telling us your name and what you do and yeah, just a short intro.
Okay, great. So I am Ruchika Sinha, and I teach history. I work in a private university here, Noida International University, and I'm employed as an assistant professor there in the Department of History. So basically, I'm also doing my doctoral research right now, and that is on public history, the role of public history and museums. In how it helps, how museums and their curators actually help in constructing the public history of India, how communities can relate to them. Other than that, I love traveling. I have traveled not outside India that much, but I have traveled India on roads by train. I love traveling by train and by roads because that is how you learn about the culture. Utarkar, street food khana. I'm a big foodie. And what else? Culture, museum, and
Ruchika, you walk.
huh?
Tell them about your walk.
Yes, yes. I used to take walks. It has been interrupted for a while now. So I used to take heritage walks for quite some time. Initially started with Intact, Delhi, and took corporate people who had weird questions about anything. And sometimes I also didn't have an answer to what they asked me. Architecture ka ye aise kyun hai? Because I was very young at that point in time. And for me, the heritage walks I used to take, the philosophy was more important than the basic architecture because I'm not a science student. I am very bad at science. So culture, लोगों के बारे में बात कर and all that attracted. So I always told my project manager कि मेरे साथ किसी architect को भेजा करो. We will take the walk together. I can't discuss about architecture. So and recently with India Heritage Walks, I don't know if you know about Sahapedia. So I took walks for them. Um, Chandni Chowk and Mehrauli archaeological. It's all Delhi and adjoining areas. I used to take interacted a lot with the communities there, and helped the community members to become the walk leaders. So that was the whole idea about it, that the people who belong to the community, they know it actually the heritage belongs to them. So that was the whole idea behind it, that to make it was a project from India Heritage Walks. So yes, I used to take heritage walks, I go to museums. So that is all about me. Thank you. And thank you, Paulomi, for initiating this. For the Museum Memories project, I had contributed uh, about a museum, Conflictorium, which is in Ahmedabad only. And that is one of my case studies in my doctoral research. Like one is Conflictorium and the other is Partition Museum in Amritsar. So yeah, that is what. That's all from my side.
That's quite interesting, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ruchika.
Samiksha, would you want to go next?
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Samiksha. I am a postgraduate student at for Heritage Management, Ahmedabad University. I've completed my graduation in history from Lady Shri Ram College, Delhi University. And museums, my fascination began when, I was always very fascinated. So my mom has this old story that once in my ancestral house, I saw this palace and I cried for 2 hours that I want to meet the king. And until then, I didn't move from that place. But the king was dead. So what would my poor mom do? So that was my whole starting fascination with history, heritage, museums, palaces. And I submitted a story about the National Museum because I've always considered it to be my second home. So literally every single person who knows me, I've dragged them for an early morning walk to the National Museum. So, and they've been tired because you can't cover those galleries in just one day. And but I think the question that Akanksha had earlier asked, that which is one museum that you fascinates you the most, and I think probably that will be my second contribution. That is the Nagasaki Holocaust Museum, because I thought that museums in India do not trigger emotions in you for some reason. They are just bare artifacts. They are just there to see, look, gaze, cool. But I saw Americans weeping in that museum, like heavily weeping in that museum. That museum is like a tunnel. It's created. I don't know if anyone of you have visited that museum, but they show you as you enter. And this is such an amazing, that the time actually that struck the bombing, 12/8, every single day you feel a little earthquake in that museum, and
Wow.
everything is deconstructed there. And fortunately, unfortunately, I was there at that time. The clock struck. We felt a little jerk, and those church bells start ringing, and and you are in that space. You are amongst the columns which have actually fallen during that Holocaust. So I think the kind of trigger, the kind of emotions, and all of us friends finally went to a hill and we sat and we didn't speak for an hour. So that was the kind of effect that that museum had on us, and till date I feel, if I'm trying to explain it in a way here, that experience has stayed with me. So I think, yeah, I found this platform a good platform to interact about such things and share memories and get to know from all of you. So thank you so much.
Thanks. Samiksha, why don't you send us a video? You record a video in which whatever you told about the museum, because your emotions can come out, in the video. If we see photographs, then we wouldn't be able to reconnect.
Yeah, I have a lot of photographs on there.
You
I
send video
apologize to
and
you for not having
photographs.
photographs. Yeah,
No, no, that's
yeah.
okay. National Museum,
Sure,
anyways, they
sure.
didn't allow photography for a long time. Chelsea
Hmm.
target
Yeah, yeah.
museum visitor is Samiksha, isn't she? Like, she's like a people like them are dream visitors for us. Yes,
So,
Akansha.
Samiksha, I would just want to add one thing. Both the case studies which I am dealing with right now, be it Conflictorium and Partition Museum, on the technological side of it, I'm not sure because I have never visited a museum outside India. But they are equally emotional. They actually create those emotions. वो train की जो सीटियाँ होती थी, जो वो train अटारी से निकल रही है, train उसकी पूरी सीटियाँ. So they have tried to recreate the whole thing. Town hall जो है Partition Museum का, the town hall where it is all situated, it will give you a feeling jittery. जलियांवाले बाग के पास में है. So that will give you a jittery feeling about the whole thing, about the partition. And partition still, whenever we talk about partition, whether anybody related is a part or not of partition, it will always give you goosebumps when you read anything, Amrita Preetham, or if you read these stories, Kushwant Singh, Amrita Preetham, anyone, it is bound to give you jitters. So, once you're in Ahmedabad, just visit Conflictorium. Also, we have a sorry tree there. You can just pour down your emotions in solitary. If you ever have problems with any bin and you did not, to just pour down your ego. So yeah, these are few little setups which are, I think, on way to ignite your emotional side also more than the exhibits. So
So
yeah,
apparently, remember, Bhopal
they are
Museum is also supposed to be very impactful. I've
yes,
never visited it, but
participatory museums. They are kind of
yeah.
participatory museums. Yeah.
Anita is actually a docent also. So she might have some interesting observations. Sorry, Akanksha, I intervened.
Yeah. So I hope my network is good. Hi, everyone. And yeah, I have a little different story to tell about myself. So basically, I am from JJ School of Art, and I've done my advertising and gave it up quite early because couldn't connect with the advertising bit at all. But yes, what has remained with me is graphic design, and I'm a graduate from JJ. It's ancient in the 80s, but there was always a love and interest, immense love and interest for history of art, and everything to do with architecture and culture, basically that. But somehow I never got down to pursuing anything at all, just continued to work as a graphic design, bits and parts. It was only when I was in my 40s, and when my daughters grew up and I had the whole day to myself, and I discussed with my family and I said, I am going to study further now, and I am going to pursue every interest that I want to from now onwards. Whether you all say yes, no, I am going to just go ahead and do it. So I did the 1 year's MICA, that is the Modern Contemporary Indian Art History private course from Bhaudaji Art Museum. For me, it is just across the road. I just live opposite the museum. I did that year's course, and I wrote, in fact, the Museum Memories project, the Museum Memories that I gave was one of the papers that I wrote for that course on princely portraiture from Kolhapur, because I hail from Kolhapur. So I wanted to bring out that aspect of portraiture, not at all really studied as compared to, like Mughal miniatures in the portraits, or even in Rajasthan, or probably Deccan, but Maratha was like never really studied. So that was one story I wrote about. And of course, after finishing that course, immediately I became a docent at Bhavdaji Art Museum. I think at that time, so this is in 2014, when I don't think docentship was even known in Mumbai. And I was, of course, the first docent of Bhavdaji Art Museum. And when I used to visit CSMVS, they would ask me like, what is docent? How much do they pay you, etc., etc. So it was really new. It was new for me, and it was super exciting. And like from then on till today, I think the journey has been absolutely fantastic. And I'm like literally getting to pursue everything that I want to pursue with Bhavdaji Art. Then I joined Pyramid. So I've been a docent there. And on a couple of exhibitions, I have worked as a docent at NGMA, Duranda's exhibition, and the Patwardhan's exhibition I carried. So I do a lot of walkthroughs. I'm always, like I should say, honored to do the first walk for every exhibition. So the exhibition opens, I get that opportunity, which I'm very, very happy about. The Guild Gallery, they have a gallery in Alibag. So I conduct walks there as well for whatever exhibition they have. So that has like become my forte, but my interest, of course, lies with children completely. I love working with children. So that's my area always. I avoid working with adults, not for any other reason, but basically because I want to focus on children. And also we at Bhavdaji Art have a really good program, I should say, where like children, when they start studying history of Bombay in schools, immediately they come to us first to learn it in a hands-on way, because Bhavdaji Art Museum is a Mumbai city museum. So we have everything about Mumbai in that museum. So that has been my kind of area of study, let's say, to teach children history in a hands-on way through the museum collection. And that's also the focus. So on the other side, I also have great interest in maritime history, which I have been studying. So we have a group now called Maritime Mumbai Museum Society, MMS. I'm also a founding member of it. And our dream is to establish a maritime museum for Mumbai city. Why? Because Mumbai city is essentially a port city, and without the sea and the port, there probably wouldn't have been the Mumbai that we see today. All its development has been because of that. So we are majorly working on that, and looks like things are hotting up. We've almost got a space, and so we are really working now on establishing this maritime museum for the city. And like some of you have shared your experiences, our whole aim is to try and make it as experiential and engaging, rather than just having artifacts put over there. So that is going to be a main kind of, we have to brainstorm on creating those, like, there was the Bombay Docks explosion. I just got that idea while Samiksha was speaking, that we can recreate that whole scene, and let the people of Mumbai know what exact. I mean, there were those gold bars in that ship which actually flew out in the city and fell in people's balconies, etc. So, I mean, these are wonderful moments that can be kind of recreated and, give people that experience. So, yeah, I mean, I've started out late, but by God's grace or whatever. I mean, I have really worked hard to get here because I've been really wanting to do something. So I think, yeah, it's been a wonderful journey, and just hoping that some more good work can be done in this field. Basically, to relate for schools to kind of relate all subjects that they learn through art. That is basically, so being from an art background, I bring that in as well. So through workshops, that's the whole thing, like that you can learn something through fun and play. That is science, maths, history, geography. Everything can be learned through fun and play. That is basically what I'm also working on. Yeah.
That's quite interesting, and we all look forward to hearing about the Maritime Museum.
Yes.
So the next question I would like to ask Chelsea and Suyash, if they could answer. This is about the museum memory and the museum that you have spoken about in your memory. If you had to bring an artifact from that particular museum home, what is it that you would choose?
Chelsea, your speaker, Suyash, your speakers and mics are off.
No, I'm actually clueless. I never actually thought of that.
I loved her question.
Persons, we don't really think about taking artworks home.
And the thing is that Chelsea's museum is a museum she works in also. So, right? Your memory is from the museum you work in. So she has access. Suyash?
It's actually the thing that impressed me in that museum, in Bihar Museum, was the way it was designed, how interactive it was.
Which artifact? Which artifact? Jaldi soch ke
artifact.
So his memory we are yet to put up on the what do you call it? Profile, Instagram profile. He's written on the Bihar Museum, but the others, you can, I'm sure, look up each other's now. Suyash, jaldi sing. Suyash is a textile designer from NID, Andhra Pradesh, and he does a lot of stuff. I'd just like to quickly add, sorry Akansha for butting in, that we are starting something called a MuMe Matters. It's a discussion forum where each month, which is going to be the second Sunday of each month, we'll try to look at one important topic which has not been dealt with in museums, definitely in India. And Suyash will be moderating the first such talk where we are talking about the inclusion of queer in museums in India, the LGBTQIA+. So we'll be sending you the links to that. Suyash, what are you taking from the museum, Bihar Museum?
So I think I want the image of Buddha that is there. Like in the memory that I have written about is the children's section, because of how interactive it was. I was quite impressed by that. But I want to take the image of Buddha where he has been portrayed as somebody who has actually been to starvation. Because I don't know, wherever I go and look up at Buddha's image, he is portrayed as so much as a being who's completely full and who is like very healthy and eating. So that's what Buddha's image has always been portrayed. But the museum has displayed different in different dynasties how Buddha was portrayed. Somewhere it was extremely ornamented, somewhere he was like very plain. So I think I want to take that idol of Buddha, which is like starving because nobody gets to see that face, and because of that change of image of Buddha, I think that story of starvation which he been through, where he got his enlightenment because of that starvation, it somewhere misses out. I think That's why that image of Buddha is really important. And if I get to have it, I can initiate much more conversations about that.
Okay, we'll soon run out of time in this link. Chelsea, have you thought?
No, I stick with my answer. I wouldn't take anything. Even if it weren't my museum, I think I've gone to so many places. I've never actually thought of like, okay, that's what something I want at my house. A museum, the whole idea is that it's for everybody. So I would never think of having something.
Yeah, even I wouldn't
that's in
think
the
of
museum
something
at my
taking something away from the museum. Yeah,
You don't want to
the
drive away
museum
in
is
one
for
of those
everybody.
cars, Richa?
No, it's better than there. Who would push? Who would push if something goes wrong?
That's true.
I think that's about it for today, right, ma'am?
Yeah, I guess we were expecting a few
So
more people.
I encourage you all to read each other's memories and add more museums to your bucket list. And we hope we can carry on these discussions monthly. And we hope that you're part of the MuMe Matters discussions as well moving forward. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Palome.
Thank
you,
you,
Akansha.
thank you. Thanks. Listen, we'll be
Nice
sending
meeting all of
across
you. Yeah.
surveys and stuff. Please take out time and answer them. I know you people do, but share it with the other groups. So MuMe Matters is especially for young adults, 18 to 24 age group, because as you can see, Anita and Ruchika, you will understand when you're working for museums or with young people, how crucial it is for them to connect. So we want to reach out to them as much as we can. So do share with your college groups. And Chelsea, you and Akanksha will have a lot in common due to Xavier's. Dr. Anita Rane is one of them. She's taught both of you. So yes, thank you. Does anyone have any objection if we put up this video on our YouTube channel? Are you all fine with it? Okay, great. Thank you so much. See you again. See you, Akanksha.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take
Bye.
care.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
You too. All
Thank
of
you,
you.
everyone.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye.